All right, this is my third attempt trying to fix this Stern Node 10 board out of a Rush machine. So these boards, these TMS motor drivers that are right here on this board, they pop. And I've already done the hot air rework to take this chip off. The chip I took off is right here. Right, so that's where the chip goes. So like I say, I've taken the chip off and I've put leaded solder on there. These boards, obviously they come lead free, but they're easier to reflow with leaded solder. So I put a bunch of leaded solder on and sucked it off with solder wick. So that's what we're looking at. So this board I'm going to repair, and in addition to just putting the chip back, because it's probably going to blow up right away, there's a main power trace right here that I'm going to put a PTC fuse on, that's a resettable fuse. And then these two connectors here are the motor drivers, motor driver contacts. And on the back here, I'm going to solder some TVSs. So I'm going to put one from each pin to ground, and then I'll put a bidirectional TVS across each of the motor winding drivers. So that's basically 12 TVSs are going to go on this board in addition to the PTC fuse, and hopefully that'll bring this one back to life. And if it doesn't, it's going to be a problem, because this is the last board that I have to work with, actually. Like I say, the one that I fixed previously to this, I did the same repair, but just replaced this chip, and it worked for about 30 seconds before it blew up, and there was a lot of smoke, and it took this micro out with it. Okay, here's the board with the pads pasted up of the two chips that have popped. My previous couple of attempts at fixing this board. Right now I'm on my last chip, so that's here. I bought 3 of these things. They're like 15 bucks each, so that's why there's only 3 of them sitting here. Now I'm going to reflow this chip and I'll be back. All right, this is the reflow process. I can probably do this one-handed hot air reflow tool. Just hold the tool under the chip and we let it heat up. And all right, here it is done, more or less. To visually inspect this under the microscope, but it looks like it's mostly good fill. Okay, here you can see here I've cut the main power trace to the motor driver and scraped away the solder mask and silk screen, and I'm going to put a 750 milliamp PTC resettable fuse across that line. So if the motor driver flames out or the motors draw too much power, that fuse should hopefully trip instead of taking out the chip. Okay, here is the installation of the 24 volt unidirectional TVSs across the outputs of the motor drivers. The next step is to put the bidirectional TVSs across the outputs. All right, here's the Node 10 board with all the fixes in place. On the Stern logo, you can see the PTC resettable fuse. There is the new motor driver chip soldered in place. And on the back, these are all the TVSs. And I will report back soon whether or not this is a success.